Hey everyone, and welcome to another Star Wars Games update, where we bring you all of the latest and greatest in Star Wars gaming news. In today's video, we'll be going over both good and, well, not so good news regarding future Star Wars games. We'll first be going over all of the confirmed DLC that's set to arrive for LEGO The Skywalker Saga, which of course is the 7-character DLC pack set to be released for the game. And then afterwards, we'll dive into the recently talked about news about the delay in Star Wars Eclipse, and go in a little deeper there to explain why that news isn't as bad as everyone is making it out to be. And before we get into any of that, a quick reminder that if you do like these type of videos, then be sure to give it a like to show your support for this update series and the content within it. With that out of the way, let's get into it. First up, the good news. WB Games has confirmed the details of LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga's downloadable content, including the characters available in the game's Season Pass, as a total of 7 DLC packs will be made available for the saga-spanning game, encompassing characters from beyond the main 9 movies. These will be available for purchase individually or as part of a Character Collection Season Pass, which will grant player access to all of the add-on packs and when they'll go live. Now, what's important to take note here is that 4 out of the 7 packs will already be available at launch on April 5th, including The Mandalorian Season 1 and SYLO A Star Wars Story character packs, while the classic characters and trooper packs will also be available to download on launch day for players who have pre-ordered through select retailers for early access, and to everyone else from April 19 and May 4th respectively. Now, as for what these packs actually contain, the Mando Season 1 pack will have Din Djarin, Greef Karga, Cara Dune, IG-11, and Kuiil, along with a non-playable Grogu that will simply be a companion to Din. SYLO A Star Wars Story will have young Han Solo, young Chewbacca, young Lando Calrissian, Qi'ra, Tobias Beckett, and Enfys Nest. Then the classic character pack will include Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Han Solo, Darth Vader, and Lando Calrissian. And of course, all the minifigs will be based from the original LEGO games. Then my personal favorite, the Trooper Pack, which will contain the Death Trooper, Incinerator Trooper, Range Trooper, Imperial Shore Trooper, and a Mimban Trooper. Just a tad shame there won't also be a Mud Trooper there, especially if they're already including a Mimban Stormtrooper, so it is what it is. Then another character pack based on Rogue One, A Star Wars Story will arrive on April 19, and this will have Jyn Erso, Bodhi Rook, Cassian Andor, K2SO, Chirrut Imwe, Baze Malbus, and Director Krennic. Afterwards, from there we'll get 2 more final packs based on The Mandalorian Season 2 and The Bad Batch, both which will be launching on May 4 for Star Wars Day. In the Mando Season 2 pack will include Ahsoka Tano, Boba Fett, Bo-Katan, Fennec Shand, and Moff Gideon, while the Trooper pack is to include the original Bad Batch in Hunter, Wrecker, Tech, Crosshair, and Echo. So sorry Omega fans, but she's not gonna be in this pack. So yeah, that makes 7 character DLC packs in total, spanning content from some of the best Star Wars media currently available outside the Skywalker Saga. And as expected, these playable characters will be available in addition to the game's main base roster, which is said to include more than 300 characters, a record high for any LEGO game. Now, moving on to the bad news, but well-known games insider Tom Henderson recently revealed that Quantic Dream are having some serious hurdles in development of Star Wars Eclipse, and that's mostly due in struggling to hire for the game. According to Henderson, the whole purpose of announcing Eclipse and showing off the trailer last year at the Game Awards was purely used in order to attract new developers to David Cage's studio, especially now in the face of some serious competition for talent that's currently happening within the gaming industry. I mean, even DICE are struggling to get a hold of some good developers, so that just shows you there's a lot of competition, to say the least. However, as Henderson states, while the trailer was well received by everyone mostly, in the end, it did not have the desired effect that Quantic Dream were really looking for. And thus, to date, they have failed to attract the necessary talent to their studio. Tom also links this to the recent scandals surrounding owner David Cage, like the series of allegations surrounding workplace issues over at Quantic Dream the last couple of years, which surely did not help in the studio's pursuit in hiring some much-needed new talent. As such, this has resulted in delays within the game's development, with Henderson concluding that Eclipse's release window has now shifted to either 2027 or 2028, which obviously is not good in the slightest. We definitely knew that Eclipse wouldn't be coming out anytime soon anyway, but I think most of us expected it around 2024 or 2025 at worst, but 2027? Yeah, no, that is quite a ways from here. That all said, it should be noted that Eclipse is not by any means Quantic Dreams' next game anyway, despite this being advertised as the case. As games leaker account NGT, who, may I remind you, was originally the first one to leak all of the details surrounding Eclipse, has shared that there are 3/4 of other games in total being currently developed at the studio, so due to this, Quantic Dream have to spread their devs around to several different teams all working on different games, with their upcoming project actually being a Dark Sorcerer-based game codenamed Dreamland, a fact that the game's media have not really done a good job in mentioning. So yeah, while it isn't great by any means that Quantic Dreams' staffing issues have resulted in such a huge delay in Eclipse, it also isn't entirely due to that, because if Quantic Dream wanted to get Eclipse done earlier, then they would have shelved all of their other games that they're currently working on and had done an all-hands-on-deck like DICE did with Battlefield 2042, which in no doubt would have sped up Eclipse's development cycle. But of course, that's not this studio's strategy, as account NGT has pointed out. Because Quantic Dream are mainly interested in doing multi-projects, which, while it may result in games like Eclipse taking longer to complete, it also in the same time means that the studio ends up putting more games out in the long term, effectively making more sales, increasing their catalog, and, well, making more money. But, you know, obviously for us Star Wars fans, that part doesn't really concern us. So it makes sense why we're all focusing here mainly on the bad news in this all. Then again, I'm a firm believer of not rushing games, especially if they need more time in the oven, which Eclipse definitely does. And based on the scale and ambition that Quantic Dream have for it, then no doubt it deserves that. Besides, let's not forget it is a High Republic-based game too, which thus far is, let's be honest, not exactly an era majority of Star Wars fans are really crazy about yet. Not to mention, we thankfully also have a bunch of other Star Wars games currently in the works that will no doubt keep us well busy while Eclipse gets worked on. Granted, it feels longer to wait now because none of those games are out yet, but when they will eventually release, then most of us will probably forget about Eclipse for the time being until that will be near completion. And hey, that's not exactly a bad thing at all. And that will do it for this Star Wars Games update. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share it, and subscribe to the channel to not only support it, but to keep up with Star Wars news, gaming, and canon lore released every week. And consider following me on Twitter and Facebook to never miss out on the latest Star Wars content. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.